Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'll just check it on you. I'm just checking in on you, seeing how your week is going. Are you sitting on pins and needles? Oh my God. Who's going to win? Are we sticking with the orange cunt? Are we going with Forgetful Freddy? Ah, jeez. What an absolute shit show. Donald Trump just churning out the comedy like you just can't believe. Stop counting the votes. Keep counting the votes. They should close the polls. P-O-L-E-S. He might be an idiot, but he's our idiot. Right? And then on the other side is the anybody but Trump people. This guy is showing like signs of fucking Trump is it's unbelievable. It is so fucking ridiculous. I'm really sticking to what I said a couple of months back. I don't think I think this country's so fucked right now. You know, we all know, look, our money's a Ponzi scheme, okay? We're having a great time. We're all believing in it and all that shit. But we're in the middle of a pandemic. They keep pumping more money. I just think it's teetering. Because what I've maintained this entire election was all the Democrats needed was a 45-year-old guy with a full head of hair. And they had it, who could complete a fucking sentence. Instead, they find a guy even older than fucking Trump. And now we got a photo finish here. Everybody knows if you want to beat the old guy, you wheel in something fucking pretty to look at. The Democrats wouldn't do it. Oh, he's got a facelift. I think he only looks like he's 79. I would never guess he's pushing 90, whatever the fuck. I don't know anything about politics. I'm going to stay out of it, but I will say this. This is my prediction, being a fan of sports, a sports fan. I say that whoever they declare victory, and then there'll be like this big, next few days they're going to say so-and-so won, right? Whoever loses is going to fight it. I think Biden will fight it the way they're going to fight it. Trump's going to sue. That's what he does. He's that fucking guy who was near an accident and all of a sudden he pulls out a neck brace. One of those guys. My prediction is that whoever they declare won it initially, they're going to stick with that. They'll be, after further review, the play stands, touchdown for so-and-so, right? And people are going to boo and all that shit because I believe I can fly. No, I believe that that if they actually were to investigate the entire election right now, the amount of shit that they would be digging up on both sides, it would be so fucking ugly. It'd get exposed that it's just like, let's just let sleeping dogs lie. This isn't going to be good for anybody. And then my favorite thing is all the urban myths that are coming out. They found a dumpster full of votes. Is that somebody at the post office who just doesn't want to do their job? Because, how do you know who voted for who on the inside? And then people are going, well, Biden said vote absentee, and Trump said don't vote absentee. So it's just like, oh, my God. Unbelievable, I can't believe that something that's so fucking dishonest and corrupt could be this dishonest and corrupt. I mean, that's basically the only thing you're left to say. So, but here's the thing. If they say Biden won, right? And Trump becomes a lame duck who's now going to sue, there are going to be movies made about what the fuck that guy does. If he thinks that he's out after just 4 years, which I think in politics that's a smudge against your name, was only a one-term president, which I don't understand why, because the last two one-term presidents I liked. I liked Jimmy Carter, and I liked the first Bush. I don't know. I guess it's a big fucking, it's a shit show. I heard, dude, you know what I heard? There was a guy and he fucking blah, blah, like this. I remember way back on 9/11, all of that shit happened. You know, I was in New York City on 9/11, right? And I remember there was a rumor going around town that either a firefighter or a person in the building rode the building down and survived. And I actually started to repeat it until I really just thought of the physics of that you could somehow go from the 80th floor down to the first floor in all of 7 seconds, how the human body could survive. And then I just started going like, that didn't happen. It's like, don't you think they would be interviewing that person? They would interview that person for the rest of time. Anytime any of this bullshit. I heard there's a dumpster full of fucking paper-eating geese. They just sent it to the fucking... shut up. Is that what you heard? My favorite one, though, did you see... Did you see that fucking guy, the fat guy there? It said something like barbecue, booze, and freedom. And there was some sort of press conference, and he comes up. It's the funniest shit ever because, you know, he thinks he's going to be stopped, and nobody stops him. So he's just like, stop the Biden crime family from stealing the election. Stop the Biden crime family from stealing the election. The media's covering it up. Stop the Biden family. He just kept saying it, and... You know, this guy came over to make sure he didn't do anything to the person who was supposed to be speaking into the microphone, but nobody stopped him. And then he didn't know what to do. And you know what it reminded me of? Do you know, like when you go to, I was joking with my buddies about this. You know when you go to a concert and at the end of the concert, you know that feeling when you don't know if it's over or not? Like, are they coming back out for an encore? The light's going to, a lot of people are leaving. Is this stupid to be still standing here? Yeah. It was sort of that. But the guy is like, the fucking passion the guy has in his shirt. I just love that his tank top shirt it's like, I just love that he's not wearing it ironically. You know? He believes in all of that shit. And you can't get fucking mad at that. There's a Zen simplicity to that, right? Whereas out here in fucking douchey LA, somebody would be wearing that, you know, to make fun of a guy like that. Right? Without putting himself out there. That's what bugs me about those people that wear shit ironically. Oh, I don't mean any of this. Well, what do you mean? Nothing. I hide behind these things. I know you guys are sick of these fucking stories, but I fucked up my shoulder again. I went too fast. And this time, it's the god. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm going to go find one of these fucking quack doctors out here that, you know, they send your blood to Germany and then they spin it, you know what I mean, as they play like a Hitler speech or something like that. And then you come fucking back and, you know, they put the blood back in you and all of a sudden you got like fucking shoulders like Lee Majors. You're the bionic man. I'm just doing that. I don't have the fucking knowledge to rehab these things. And God knows when you go on the fucking internet, you can't find anything. Which is why it's so fucking stupid that people go on the internet to find information. Everything on the internet is presented as fact. That's why everybody believes the bullshit that they're fucking reading. You know, be listening to this stuff, right? There's no facts in what I'm saying. Other than I'm just trying to do something. All right, if Donald Trump loses and becomes a lame duck, I say he overturns Roe v. Wade. I don't know how he'll do it, but he'll figure out a way. He overturns that. He'll increase the taxes in every fucking state that went blue. He'll refuse to leave. I think, remember when Dave Portnoy at Barstool went fucking limp at the Super Bowl? I think that's what fucking Trump's going to do. They're going to have to carry him out. And he's just be going, they stole the house. This is sad. I think it's going to be that. While Joe Biden will stand there with a smirk on his face, you know, hopefully realizing what is happening. Oh, my God. I don't know what to believe because I got a buddy of mine who really knows politics, and he goes, Bill, it's not that they're getting rid of Trump. He goes, trying to get rid of Trump. It's that they think they're going to get something better, that these are better people. And he started like running down the list of Biden and what's her face there? What's her name? Kamala? How the fuck do I know her name? It's unbelievable. Like how big the presidency is. Someone who doesn't pay attention. I actually know. Well, I know Mike Pence, but he's sort of being there. He's sort of a series regular, reoccurring character, isn't it? All right, hang on a second. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. There we go. So my buddy's going like, dude, Joe Biden was the guy who was behind that thing. If a black guy like got caught with half a joint, he went to jail for the rest of his life. And Kamala refused to let prisoners out to the point she had to get sued because she didn't want to lose the labor. And I'm like, that's true. And he's telling me, yeah, it's fucking who these people are. It's like, Jesus Christ. And I think we need a youth movement in this country. I really believe that it's always like old people running for presidents because they're protecting old money. And if you've been a diabolical son of a bitch, the older you are, the longer you've done it. If you haven't gone to jail, if you're on the legal side of stealing, the white side, you can really accrue this amazing fortune. But, you know, you need to try and protect it. So I think that they just get these old guys in there, you know, and then they just play like songs from their generation when they sell them on it. Like way back in the day, you know, they probably just, you know, when they talked to Nixon and fucking Lyndon Johnson, they would probably play yada da 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 ba doo ba dee ba dee ba da ba boo. You know, they play a little fucking Benny Goodman in the background, and they would just sell them on if you do this and do that and do this, and then someday, you know, you'll get a fucking mansion on Martha's Vineyard at the end of this, which is what every politician, I believe, in the Democrat and the Republican Party are going for. And, you know, the people who you vote for who you're allegedly wasting your vote, I really believe that those people, you know, I like to think, I think right now they care about American people. If the Libertarian Party was to get as big as the Democrat and the Republican Party, they would eventually sell out too. That's kind of what I find with in my business. So I'm just going to apply that. If a company's new, the suits will just be like, "Hey man, like you're the creative person. Like we don't know anything of you. Just create. Just make some content. Just like we just want to see your artistry bloom." Right? And then they get a little bigger, and then they're kind of like, well, you know, I don't know about that. Here's our input. Could you do a little more like this? And then the final wave is, fuck you, we own everything. You do what we say, or you'll never work in this town again. That is the trajectory of everything, agency or whatever in this town. We're just a little boutique agency, and we're just going to send you out on this independent stuff and kick it in the... Look, if you don't want to do a superhero movie and watch me take a shower, get the fuck out of our agency. You know, it's an old tale. You know, it's like me. When I first started doing this podcast way back in 2007, I had my hat in hand. I was just happy that you were listening. You know, now what do? I sit here and I sip throat coat tea and I try to tell you about fucking politics. I mean, I don't know who the fuck I think I am, but somewhere along I don't know. I kind of went off the rails here. So anyway, I got I had an acting gig yesterday. It was kind of a nice thing to do the day after the election. Just not be there. And everybody was just like, the amount of people that told me is like, dude, I couldn't even watch it. I don't want to know either way. I had a joke in 2016. I was saying Hillary versus Trump is like fucking 2 a.m. at the bar. You got to find someone to go home with. This is another one of those. Back to back. Where the fuck? Where's the young cool guy? There was always the young cool guy. The JFK guy would come along. The Gary Hart, you know, fucking Bill Clinton and Al Gore would show up with their fucking... Their jean jackets on to show how young and hip they are, right? You know, they're in their fucking mid-40s. Then they play some Fleetwood Mac. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. And you're like, oh, my God, that was a song they played at my prom. And then you just voted for him. And then the old guy got kicked out. They've been doing that forever. Democrats, I guess, have been doing that. The Republicans always seem to wheel out a really fucking old guy. Right? Well, no, George W. Bush wasn't old. They fought youth with that, right? And then who was the next one? Then it was Obama versus George W. Bush. Oh, that was good. You know what, something? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's what I would have done. I would have just brought out the fucking young guy, you know, that the chicks are all just like, I don't know, I just believe him. That's all you needed. Although Mike Pence kind of fucking level of hair, except you dye it. And then a few people be like, can't trust nobody, dyes their hair. There's always a reason, right? There's always a reason. So anyway, I actually had a really good time yesterday. I always have a little bit of anxiety before I go onto a fucking acting set. I always do. I always think like, oh, God, I'm going to fuck this up. This is going to take all day. I'm going to make them be behind. And then they're going to be like, well, he's doing good enough job. Just fucking get him through it or whatever. And then I always go in and I always end up having a great time. And that's what ended up happening yesterday. And I don't know. I'm on a nice little run here. I don't do a lot of acting work, but when I do it, I have a good time. So I want to thank everybody that let me work yesterday during a pandemic. And I only have one big job left this year, and I'm done. I got to write an episode of F is for Family. That's what I'm doing over the next couple of weeks, which is always fun. We almost have the 5th season all written, if you can believe it. The 5th and final season.